Hello VIPs and Danielle Scripts. I am here to show you that really fun rainbow heart that we saw that was advertised in the cardstock bundle, and a really awesome consultant created this cut file in Cricut Design Space for us, and all the pieces that we need to create this heart are in this Design Space file. And it's really nice because it all uses basic shapes, and so you don't have to have a particular Cricut cartridge to create this. So hi Heather, nice to see you join in. So for the base pages, when you cut this, you're going to have a 12 by 12 cardstock, then you're going to have an 11 by 11, and then you're going to have a 10.5 by 10.5. Okay, this is going to be cut at 10 inches, and you're going to cover up majority of this. I cut this in French vanilla, and the rest is white daisy and then black. And then I just went through my scraps and used that to create all of these pieces that we're going to use to make our heart. So this is kind of like a puzzle piece. We're going to go through and we're going to put it together, and it's going to come together really. So it's going to be cute. It's going to be cute. I promise it's going to be cute. So I had it all laid out, and then Facebook was kicking me off. Boom, boom, boom. Every time I got on, it was like popping me off. And so when I was moving stuff around, I moved all my pieces around, and so now you get to be a part of this. So this is going to take a minute, but it's going to be fine. Let's see. I'm going to move this piece off so we can see what we're doing, and then we'll play with that. It also cuts, you don't need to do this part. It also cuts the little borders that you saw over here. You wouldn't need to do that. You could just use your paper trimmer to do that if you wanted to. And I did that on some of the pieces. I didn't have enough. So let's try and get some of this lined up here. So I'm going to start with the curved edges because I think that will be, you know, like where I think that this goes best. Hi Rochelle, it's nice to see you pop in here. And then we'll try and get, so forgive me as I try to navigate my way through these pieces and get it lined up just so. And darn Facebook for kicking me off all the time. Let me see. Boy, oh boy. Okay. I have to get it in my head for a sec. I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, you guys. I should have. It goes together like a really nice puzzle. And of course I don't have a piece of the picture with me right here so that I can see where everything goes. It also creates, the file also creates enough pieces to do a card too. A 5 by 7 card. All right. So I think we have an idea that, you know what? I bet these pieces don't go down there. I thought maybe they might go here like that, but they don't. Let me grab my computer and see. I wish Facebook, it got me all flustered because it kept popping me off. And so I'm like, oh. So now I look like I don't know what I'm doing because I had it all set up. Sorry. You'll forgive me, right? There we go. I think we're taking some shape now. So I might go here. And I know there's some spacing between the pieces, but I am excited for the cut file to be available. So it's free. I can share it with you guys once you go through this disaster with me. Oh, no spaces. And then you guys can just cut it out on your Cricut, or if you need the pieces, I can work out something with you to get the pieces cut for you and sent to you. So I can do that for you if you want. I know these two pieces go over here, but they're just not lining up like they should, huh? Just a second. Let's see. Here we we go. Just have to watch the angle. Ha! Look at that. To be smarter than the average puzzle piece, right? So the nice thing about the cut file is it has all the suggested colors for you to cut out. So when I got the mat, it already had this as red. It already had this one as an orange. It already had this one as a yellow. So I didn't have to kind of guess what the rainbow colors were going to be. There we go. Sorry that I got that mixed up there, but oh well. We're working our way through it, right? And I got my little kids coming down trying to figure out how they're going to survive without me. All right. How cute is this? We got our little spaces. There's a little white space between all of them. So I totally recommend, obviously, getting all your spaces together, all your pieces down first before adhering, because you definitely don't want to start adhering and then it doesn't line up or kind of looks silly that way. So there's that. So that's how our heart should look. So I'm going to go ahead and start adhering down. Hi, Frida. Yeah, it is really good for you to see what a mess it is when you first get it. I mean, it's not necessarily a mess, but to see how it comes misconfabulated, you have to definitely put it together. Okay, let me grab some adhesive here. And I'm going to start, and then I'll show you all the little fun stuff that they did to this piece that our heart's going to sit on. And then we'll also put our little pieces in, which I have to still cut some because I used scraps to cut these, and so I didn't get all my pieces cut out like I wanted to. So when the video is over, that's when I'll share the link for the design space. And remember, it's all basic shapes, so you don't have to own a particular cartridge of one or another. It's all the free shapes that already come with, you don't have to have Cricut access. It's just those, you know, squares and hearts and triangles that have been manipulated to create this fun project. So I'm really thankful that that consultant, not only did she create it, but she shared it for free too. So she's just a blessing to all of us to be able to bring it back to all of our customers and our friends and share this with them. So I just thought that was, really good. I'm going to turn it so that I'm not working sideways or upside down. And then I'm just trying to do my best job about getting some good spacing, some even spacing as best as possible. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm human and I like to eyeball things. All right. And so I'm hoping that Facebook is off of its little glitch, kicking people off. I know I've shared in here a few times, the little group, the free group that my friend Michelle and I are doing. It's called Let's Flock Together. It's for the 100-day project where you create something every day for 100 days. And so we've been taking turns. So she does one day and I do another day. So that's been really, really fun. But I always tell the ladies, and there's a few gentlemen in there, so I shouldn't say just ladies, but I tell everybody in that group, like, just eyeball it. Just eyeball it. So they're probably tired of me saying that, but it's the truth. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Angie. Good to see you guys come in. I would wave to you, but the phone is above my head, and then if I do that, it just makes the whole thing jiggle, and then someone's gonna get car sick. So just say hi. So they suggested, or she suggested, to use this piece be gray. I didn't have any full sheets of 12 by 12 gray. So I just picked up a black piece, and I'm sure it'll be just fine. And then I'm going to show you how to do some splattering like she did. Or not, she didn't do it, like like Close to My Heart did it. So it's just putting a puzzle piece together. And then we'll put our photo in the middle. All right. And don't mind my dollar store press-on nails. Girls got to do something during these times. All right, so there's our heart. And it looks really, really cute. And so we'll definitely put our sentiment in the center, or our picture, whichever it is that you're creating for. And then I will show you. This is going to sit here. So see how it really didn't matter that I used French vanilla, which is like, you know, an off-white, because this was, most of that was going to be covered up anyways. Okay, so they take on this one and they use colored pencils and water to create a splatter effect, but I like using the extremely messy shimmer brush pen, because, you know, every time I use it, it gets everywhere. So I got to use it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've got, this is nice and juicy. I know you probably can't really see it on camera. And, but if you need to get more come out, there's a little embossed area that says push. So you would just squeeze very gently. If you were to do that, don't do it over your project. Do it off to the side. Otherwise, that's just going to make a big mess. But this black one seems to have a lot. So just very gently, I'm just pushing the bristles down. And mind you, a lot of this is going to be covered up. So I'm really focusing more on the edges than the center. And then you can also go up. Now, if you go up like this, be prepared for that to splatter to go. So, but that's just how you change the direction of the splatter. Okay. And that's it. And then I can just use a towel to wipe this off. And we're good for gold. And now I can adhere my heart right down here, and it takes that starkness of the white away. It looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and probably going to get some black splatter on it, right? All right. So this looks good. I'm just going to eyeball it. And then I'm going to put it on my black, which this won't be so bad. It's just going to be a border. I cut this at 11, and this is 10.5, so it gives you a 1/4 inch border on 4 sides. See, it's messy. Look how messy it's got everywhere. And then just going to adhere this down, and then I'll show you how to put the little rainbow pieces on. We'll do that part last because it goes underneath the black. And try and eyeball as much as I can without getting my big old fat head under the camera. Hopefully that's pretty even. Ooh, it's coming along so cute. So what if you don't have Cricut Design Space? The best thing that I could tell you is, if you don't have Cricut Design Space, to go old school, grab your paper, fold it in half, draw your heart, and you're going to want to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and then slice it out from there. That would be the best way to do it without having a Cricut, which makes it a little bit more time consuming and tedious, but it's doable. I mean, we didn't always have a Cricut, so we kind of have to think about that. So there's 2 colors, one for each side that's cut out, and then I have to grab my scraps because, and I'm going to put them in the same order as the rainbow goes, so the rainbow goes Roy G. Vibb. So red, orange, yellow, green. Usually violet, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Violet, indigo, blue. So that's usually how the rainbow goes. So if you ever, don't worry, I was in my 20s before I learned that. Apparently they teach that in grade school, but I don't know where I was on those days. Okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6, 7, 8. So I need 2 over here, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 over here. So I am missing this one for both sides and 1 on the other side of this. So I'll just show you, these are easily cut. So if you didn't want to cut that out on your Cricut, you didn't have to. So they're just 1/4 of an inch long and 1 1/2 wide, or however, I guess, yeah, wide, long. So just cut these out really quick using some scraps. If you follow my page very often, then you know that I'm constantly using whatever scraps I have to create something before I dip in and grab a whole new, yeah, it's Carolina. Before I grab a whole new sheet, 12 by 12 sheet. You know, and sometimes I try to pay attention when I'm creating these things. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. A little bit. A lot of times what I like to do is when I'm creating things and something calls for like a 10 by 10 piece of paper, I didn't need 2 of those. How much of that paper is being covered by something else? You know, like, is it necessary? All right. So I got a little washi tape on there. So we're going to go red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, violet. There we go. Okay. So that's how we're going to do our little things. Now, I think, just me personally, the easiest way to do this would to be, it'll make it a little bit bulky, I understand, but would be to adhere 1/4 inch strips to a piece of cardstock and then cut them down into your 1 1/2 inch, and then you could just lay that down easily. I think that would be the best way to do that. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not gonna, obviously, because I already used the Cricut to do it today, and so then these are gonna sit out here. So I'm really thankful that she didn't cut these 1/4 by 1/4, because that would be a pain to try to put those down. So I'm gonna move this out to about right here and eyeball it, and I'm gonna start here, and then that's I'm going to use this as a guide so that I get these straight. You could also use a ruler. All right. Yeah, I didn't realize there was an order for the rainbows until I was in my 20s, and I was at work and someone was talking about Roy G. Vibb, and I'm like, who? Like, what? And they were like, yeah, aren't you familiar with that? And I was like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. They're like, that's how you remember the colors of the rainbow. And I was like, what? Like, if, you know, to put them in a sequential order so that they, oops, I moved that. There we go. So that they, you know, float or what have you. Okay. But then again, okay, just making sure I'm just staying in that order, and then I'm going to try and make sure I do the same over here and that everything is lined up nicely. So I'll show you how I do that without a ruler, and I eyeball it. And then do remember that all of the cardstock is two-sided. So you have your normal color and then you have a shade lighter. I was listening to one of my friends talk yesterday, and she said it's about 10% lighter of the true color on the other side. So if you're looking for double-sided cardstock, keep in mind that this one has a light and a dark version. I could move my paper a little bit so you can see there's a little white there. I can always trim that. Okay. So I know that that piece is there. Oops. So what I'm doing right now is I'm lining the top of this up with my red piece here, and then I'm just moving this piece as a guide, right? So that I can put my line down here. So that way it's even. I'm sure there's 100 mathematically correct ways to do that, but I'm just a mama 4 in my basement scrapbooking, so hey. And then we'll just line this up and it's gonna look really cute. So then if you do the card, it'll be done the exact same way as we did this. You're gonna puzzle piece the heart together, put it on either a light gray or the black like I did, and then your sentiment will go in the center right here, just like ours will. Only I'm going to do a picture and mine, not a sentiment, on this piece right here. So this comes together so cute. I may have cut this guy just a little bit fat, but that's okay. And by fat, just a little bit wider. I got him a little bit on the blue. So I'm just gonna pull that up and put him back down because I don't want him on top of the blue. I want him lined up next to it. There we go. Much better. Then we'll put this back. So really effective layout. You could do this easily, obviously, as a single page, but if you wanted to make it as a double page, a really cute quilt effect would be nice on the other side. And what I mean by that is like a grid of pictures, like 3x3 pictures on the separate page. That would be really cute to do a second one that way, since you would have a nice focal piece here. All right. So now I have these, they should line up nicely. And now I can put this right on the center. And now it looks like I have these pieces all lined up behind it. And really they're just these little tiny cuts. So that looks good. So I'm gonna adhere this down. Now this is gonna go inside of my page protector, so I'm not worried a whole lot about, you know, a gob of adhesive. Just keep in mind that if you decide to roll from one corner to the next, you have essentially 4 feet of tape that you just used on your page. So if you're going through adhesive a lot, maybe keep that in mind. I'm just going to eyeball that and put it down. All right, I'm going to grab, I have a box of pictures here. So I'm going to grab some really quick and see what I can come up with. That would be cute. And go with the rainbow thing. These are all Christmas and Halloween. Oh, that might work. She's got her little unicorn outfit on. Let's see if there's a different one. That's she just turned 5. My 5-year-old. See if there's another one of her and her little unicorn. Nope, that's the best one. So that's going to work. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit to a 4x3 just so that it's not overpowering my hard work on this beautiful doohickey. What's it called? A heart? It's Sunday, you guys, and I am a little out of it. I apologize. All right, so I'm going to cut my mat down in black so that it matches my base, cutting out to 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and that's so that I have a nice frame around my picture. So it's going to go right here in the center, and I'll cut this down to 4 by 3. Right, 4, yeah. And cut it down to 3. And so I just see that 3 is here, and I'm just kind of eyeballing. I hate to cut off the whole crown, but I don't want to cut her skirt or horn off either. Shnikes, I'm about to cut it the wrong way. I'm so glad I stopped myself. So I want it to be 4 this way. I am so glad I just stopped myself. I almost made a huge mistake. I almost made this landscape instead of portrait. That's what happens when you craft and talk. I can chew gum and talk at the same time, but apparently I can't craft. See, that's so cute. And she's got her little, she's my little Spitfire. She's got such a gentle, very, very gentle soul. Her feelings are hurt so easily, and so I have to be very, very careful. But I was the same way as a child, so I kind of can have empathy for her because I understand. She just wears her heart on her sleeve. She's going to be such a good, beautiful person when she gets older. Awesome. There we go. So I could add 2 3 by 3s over here, but I'm really going to honestly leave it like this. I have some embellishments that I want to use on it. I'm going to just grab some of the things that I have in my stash, and I'm going to put some purples and pinks over here and some greens over here and blues and so on and so forth, and kind of decorate that up just to make sure that everything, you know, kind of goes together. But I really want to make sure my focus is, you know, coming right in here to my center picture. Oh, are Heather and Rochelle going to make, yeah, you guys should totally make this the next time you get together. Had to Google the rainbow info. Well, that's all right. I mean, I don't think I ever tried to lie to anybody. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to add some embellishments in, you know, on and off the heart. I don't even think that, honestly, these right here are close to my heart. But you know what? They're in my stash, so apparently I need, and they go really good with that. So, hey, I'm going to use them. These hearts have been around forever. This is just a really great project to use up these embellishment stashes, because a lot of times we'll get a full packet with a kit or something of that nature, and then we don't ever really use it up. So I'm not really paying too much of attention to where I'm putting everything. I'm just randomly putting some here and there. And then I have some triangles, which if you get my Happy Mail, sometimes you get random like things like triangles or whatever in the mail from me. I forget who I just sent some to. They won a contest, whatever contest we did in here the last time we did it. Not a hostess one, but like I don't like those. I'm not gonna put any more of those ones on. Like an artwork challenge or something we did in here, and then I sent bingo. We played bingo. That's what it was. I'll get it right. Just randomly. Ooh, that's so pretty. I love it. And kind of put some off to the side. And come in here with some deeper ones. And so that's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of decorating it. And I'll finish filling it in. I have all of those. I think you guys get the concept of filling all of that in. They also have the card. So I thought I would put that little card together, and I'll finish this off camera because I want to spend a little bit more detailed time, and I'm sure that you guys have other things to do than wait for me to think about where I might want something to go on my layout. I'm just going to stick this up here because the pattern is the same. It's just smaller. So that means I can use that for easy placement, and then I don't have to try to make this happen again. So I'm just gonna, this is where I think if you took strips of your cardstock and adhered them down like this in rainbow order, you know, if this is a full 12 by 12 or, you know, whatever. So this is a 1/4 of an inch. So if you glued a 1/4 of an inch by however long your white daisy is, and then cut them like this, I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. I think that would be really beneficial for the card. So I might do that instead of trying to adhere all those small pieces together. I must have some of the black shimmer still on my mat because I see that I got it on my card here. So this is going to go by a lot easier because now I have something telling me exactly where all of my little pieces go. So the heart will be super cute. And this is nice because it didn't, the Cricut cut for this doesn't have any specific sentiments with this. So you could do this for pretty much anything. Thinking of you, happy birthday, miss you, you know, here's a hug, something like that. So definitely say before you get ready to go do this, like make sure you either have another screen where you can see this up there or print a picture out. That way you know exactly where your placements are going and then you can play with it. Look how cute that is. So this makes a 5x7 card. I mean, if you really, really wanted to, you could size it down to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 card, but you're really going to get into some very, very small pieces on this part. So let's adhere this down and then we can create a cutesy little card. Well, I'm just going to show you how to do this part. I'm not going to make the full card because I think it's, at that point, once you know how to make the heart, the card, it becomes your own design, if that makes any sense. So I'm just adhering these down. If you guys are in the Let's Flock Together group, let me know because, and let me know how you guys are liking it. And if there's anything that you want to see done over there. That's kind of why I'm not going live over here as much. And I do apologize. It's not that I'm ignoring you guys, but I'm kind of exhausted. But let me know if there's anything that you want to see. I do have a poll up in there, and Michelle and I are taking the poll into consideration when we're doing our crafty time. So I see that there's a lot of people that put on the poll that, you know, they're really interested in scrapbooking techniques. They're interested in stamping and die cut. Of course I had to drop it, right? Die cut. So if there's anything you guys want to see, let me know. I'm not quite sure how I got that to hang off, but it goes there. It's all right. We'll trim it off with our scissors, right? Guess I should have lined the edge up and not the corner. That's what I did wrong on that. Hi, Belinda. Yay, Rochelle got a card for playing bingo. I try to send different things to different people, so you're not always getting, like, you'll never know what you get. So it's a fun surprise. Oh, Lord have mercy. Come on now. There we go. So, if you have a Cricut and access to Design Space, leave a comment so that I know. And if you don't have one and you need help getting these cuts and you want them, also let me know. I'd say the card's a little bit more finicky with these cuts. than the scrapbook page was. I know there's supposed to be spacing between them, but I must have not given it the best spacing when I started. There we go. Okay. I'm going to trim this up on the sides because I got some of the hangover. I don't know. We'll make it look good. So I'm just trimming off where it hung over for one reason or another, mainly just my spacing. But I will get what I was trying to say. I gotta stop saying It's annoying when my kids do it, so I'm pretty sure it's annoying when I do it. So if you want these cuts and you don't have a Cricut, let me know. I'll work something out to get something out to you. Okay, so you'll want to cover up the center part with a sentiment. So let me figure out for you really quick what size would be beneficial right there. Let's see, I think a 2x2 would be good, but a 3x3 might be a little bit better. This is a 2x2. Actually, this is a 1x1. This is a 2x2. So yeah, I think a 2x2 would be cute. So 2x2 square for your sentiment. And then, of course, if you have something like this stamp set, you could stamp this, color it, fussy cut it out, and then pop it up. It's like a little puppy or the bird, or even the cat would look cute on here. Especially, this would be, speaking of that, this would be a good card to send somebody that lost a pet, you know, for the Rainbow Bridge. So, okay, we have a layout and we have the start of a card. My scrap, see, I used scrap for my Cricut, so I didn't get the full 5x7 cut, but that's what it would look like on there. I'm not as, and then of course you do layer it, so your next layer would be the black, and then you would do your little thing. But I'm not a big fan of the heart, and maybe it's because I couldn't get all my pieces on just right. Maybe I started working a little too fast. But I don't think I'm going to be able to salvage the heart to my liking. Maybe. Okay, so there is your layout and your card start for this. I will get off here and I will post the Design Space link behind on here. Yeah, you have access, Belinda, and I will, the link, I don't know if you caught it earlier, is free. It uses all generic shapes, so it doesn't matter what cartridges you have, because it doesn't use a specific one. It uses all the Design Space links. So I'll post that in the comments, or maybe I'll just change the title to this video when I get to my computer and get all that set up for you guys. And I would love to see if you guys recreate this. I would love to see it, and maybe we'll do a drawing for a stamp set or something that I have in my stash, an old retired one, and maybe I'll see if I can find a heart one. That would be fun. Okay, you guys were amazing. Thank you for joining me on your Sunday. I appreciate all of you, and I think you are all creative, and I want to see your artwork. Well, I'll see you soon.